Just wanted to do a follow-up review on my 2015 BMW GS Adventure. Just a couple things that maybe I didn't point out in the prior review. I repeatedly get on the highway 50 miles per gallon. That's one of the things that is quite nice. It's a much more efficient bike than my 2009 GS, and the gas mileage is a lot better. And also the larger gas tank, I have to say, is really quite a nice feature. Although you can feel the weight, of course, if you're on gravel or you're on dirt. If you have a full tank of gas, it definitely changes the handling characteristics quite a bit. But if I know that I'm going onto gravel or doing some, riding on dirt, I just make sure to sort of keep the tank with, 3 or 4 gallons at most, and that really improves the handling quite a bit. It is surprising, even though this is a heavier bike, I am quite surprised at how good it is on dirt. I also want to point out that the tire pressure monitor actually that's on the bike, I am finding does not correspond to the actual pressure that you may measure with a gauge. And there's some discrepancy there, which I'm sort of critical of. 38.6, these tires are pretty warm, and I know that it has about actually about 42 psi. Not a big difference, but still it's a little bit off. And I know that the front tire is probably in the 36 range. Something I noticed early on in the bike, but has become less and less of an issue, is that the mirrors seem a bit small. That was my immediate impression, and it took really some finesse to get them adjusted properly. But as time has gone on, I've been able to sort of dial them in a bit better. Here's something that concerned me until I did a little bit of research. I was messing around with the bike and noticed that this shock absorber likes to sort of twist, about 5 degrees or so. And thought, that can't be right. So I did a little bit of research. That's the way it is, right? It's sort of loose in there. I've never had cruise control on a bike before. Amazing, just hitting that button, and if you tap on it, it'll increase the speed by 2 miles an hour or so. What a great feature. One thing I've recently discovered, I recently bought a new helmet, and when I bought the helmet, the shop recommended this plexus. I had never seen it before, and it's a plastic cleaner and polish. I use it predominantly on the face shield. In the past, I've committed the sin of using like Windex or auto glass cleaner on my face shield. That tends to scratch the plastic quite a bit, but this actually on this new helmet that I have has been really remarkable. It's quite expensive, which is really the downside of it, but nevertheless I'm finding it to be quite useful. One of the things that I did to the bike was I think Chibi007 on YouTube did the same thing, and I'm not a big fan of the white gas tank, so what I did was actually ordered some vinyl. This is 3M matte black, and I think it's a much nicer look. I ordered extra material. I've never done it before. It was really pretty easy to get all the plastic off here. It was not a problem at all. You sort of have to pull all of this off to get into, really to get the seams really nice. I ordered extra material. I recommend doing that if you've never done it before. I screwed it up a couple times and then had to go back. Still have some air bubbles in there or whatever, but I also have the heat gun as well. You really need the heat gun. Once you get the feel for how it all goes on, it's a really easy process. It took me about 4 hours to do. The bike sounds pretty nice too. And that's the standard exhaust. That's not the upgraded exhaust option. I mentioned in my last post, I was just talking about the tires a little bit, and I recently did about 30 miles on a gravel road, and these are the Anarchy 3s, and I was a bit critical in my last review. They are 90-10 tires, but I did find they were really pretty stable actually on gravel. In a straight line at least. I was pretty cautious in turns, and they were a bit slippery laterally. But you know, I didn't have a problem running between 40 and 60 miles an hour in a straight line on some pretty hard-packed gravel. They were fine. But I was cautious. I also wish the service intervals weren't so short. It seems like every time I turn around that I'm getting a service indicator. This bike has about 7,000 miles on it, so I think it was maybe a 6,000 mile service. But yeah, it seems like service intervals are a little too short. I'd prefer if they were a bit longer. Overall, it's just a gorgeous looking motorcycle. I think it's so beautifully designed. You know, that's one of the things that I really like about it. Everything is just seems to be in its place and just wonderfully designed and constructed. I do wish I could switch out knobbies and road tires a little bit more easily. I think that's about a $2,000 endeavor, is my understanding, to actually have a spare set of wheels with knobbies. That concludes the review of my 2015 BMW GS Adventure.